In this week's episode of Pageants and Tangents, we're going to be talking about social media.
Welcome to the Pageants and Tangents podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to Pageants and Tangents. For those of you who it's your first time, yes, we are going live this time. No, I don't know why. I felt like my life wasn't stressful enough. So for those of you who don't know who this crazy gang are, I think we might have to go back to 101 and reintroduce ourselves. So I'm Adrian. I'm going to say that because I'm the founder of the Pageant project. And apparently some of you don't know who I am. I'm apparently just a face that sometimes turns up. But my name is Adrian. I'm the founder of the Pageant project. Let's go around the room. So Miss Haley, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Poe. I was Miss Earth USA 2025. I'm the first American to win a national pageant title on a reality show, and I'm currently a journalism student at Harvard.
Good student. Your life has changed quite a lot since I first met you, Haley.
Yeah, for sure.
She is our resident has queen, although I don't know. Maybe there's a nicer way of saying that. We'll go around. Miss Peyton, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Peyton Christen. I am the current Miss Georgia volunteer. I'm a speed painter, a chicken lover, and a little bit crazy, according to the rest of the three of them in the room with me now.
You say that. I can see Morgan has joined the live over on Instagram. She's already distracting herself. Just clarify, Peyton, when you say chicken lover, do you mean eating them or having them, or both?
Unfortunately, both. I have 5 pet chickens, but I do enjoy a good chicken tender every once in a while.
Hang on. Maud, Ethel.
Yes.
Damn. I don't got the rest. Maud and Ethel. Who are the other 3?
Arlene, Loretta, and Phyllis.
Okay. All right. And Peyton is also the proud owner of the world's fattest cat.
Yes.
So
Octavius.
Octavius. And I've got a cat, Haley. I've seen more of Haley's cat than I want to, and although he's really pretty, Cobalt. Before we do that, let's introduce the resident crazy person who said she was going to be under a bridge. And you guys don't understand. This is the first time we've gone live, and these two never get glammed up. Haley always gets glammed up, and last week she was literally like, guys, is there a dress code? And then I said, we're going live, and now these two have shown up like they always do it like this. But Morgan, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Morgan. It's my legal name. I'm a personal trainer, professional waist snatcher, Mama Morgan to majority of my clients, and Slim Shady to the crew that you see here. Also, what Adrian's talking about, yeah. But to be fair, like, even Adam Sandler puts on a suit and tie every once in a while. So, like, my thought process is, if I look raggedy 98% of the time, then the 2% when I do beat my face and do a random Instagram pop-up and remind everybody that I'm still that girl, it's like seeing a unicorn. If you see a unicorn every day, it's not that special. But if you see me out in the wild, randomly looking like this, you're like, oh, crap, she's here.
So she was deliberately setting the expectations low so that when she glammed up, everyone would be like, oh my God.
100%. Also, Peyton, can I just say, I just feel like if I owned pet chickens, I would feel really weird about also eating chickens, because Josh had 2 hogs there growing up. Their names were Pork and Chop, my husband. And one day they weren't on the farm anymore, and he was coincidentally served pork chops for dinner, and that's when his dad told him that he was also eating pork and chop for dinner. So like, it really messed him up for a long time. So I just feel like if I had chickens, I couldn't eat chickens. Like, I have dogs, I can't eat dogs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the only distinction that I have to cling on to is that they're not meat chickens. So if I did eat them, it would not be much meat and it would not be very good. So they're pet chickens.
Okay. They're egg chickens.
Egg chickens, yes.
But can I just interject? Guys, also, we're talking about social media today. You'd never know it. But when I had chickens, I felt weird eating the eggs, because my chickens were really crazy. They had a lot of personality, and I just felt that if I eat the egg that came out with the crazy chicken, I'm going to end up crazy as well. So I do know what Morgan's talking about, although I'd never eat them. The fox
I-
got them.
I fear you're just projecting.
No, it's still weird because you're eating your pet's fetus.
No.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what an egg
no,
is. It's a
I meant
fetus.
he was projecting thinking it was going to cause him crazy. The reality is he just can't help his crazy, so he was projecting onto
Valid.
the chickens.
Valid.
Don't go around spreading or I'm not crazy, guys. Can you tell Haley is the sane one? Because she's just there waiting for like, I thought we're talking about social media. She's always a sensible one. So if you don't know, the way it kind of goes, Haley's a sensible one. Peyton's a one, we call her the heart, the emotional heart, but she's also the one who can never get her internet sorted. But apparently today, because we're going live, it got sorted. Morgan's completely off the rails. And then it's my job to try and keep the asylum together. So wish me luck. All right, so guys, if you put comments on Facebook or YouTube, I can bring them up. I got the Instagram here, so I can see your comments. And Olay has asked, "Are you drinking, Morgan?"
Coffee. She says coffee.
It is. It's got coffee, mate. It's coffee. This is natural, unfortunately.
There's nothing in the coffee apart from coffee.
Nothing in the coffee. Honestly, alcohol makes me really typically quiet. I might dance, but pretty quiet. This is sober. You're welcome. God really was like, y'all want to see some jokes?
Okay. All right. I think what we should do, what we normally do when we're not distracted by going live for the first time, we'll go around the room, get everyone to catch us up on how their week has been. Guys, if you have any comments or questions, as I said, put them on Facebook or YouTube, then I can actually bring them up. If on Instagram, I'll try and keep an eye on Instagram, which I have over there. So if I'm looking over there, it's not because I'm distracted. It's because I'm looking at the comments. So keep them coming. All right. So we'll go to Haley first. Haley, how has your week been? Been a resident Harvard student?
It was great. I had my 4th week of classes, and then I also interviewed Adrian for a new intro for social media and YouTube. And that was a lot of fun because I got to be on the other side of the interview process, and it was great practice for me as well. So it's a good week.
How did you find interviewing me?
It was fun.
You say it was horrible, by the way. That's fine.
I did not. It went as expected.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means. What did you expect?
Well, everyone on here is a professional yapper, and we've spent enough time yapping together that I had a pretty good idea of how that conversation was going to go.
Fair enough. Actually, we didn't yap as long as I thought we would. We kept it under an hour. You did very well there. I thought we were going to be there at least 2.
Yeah, I was trying to manage time as well as I could. We go off the rails a little bit.
It's hard to do here.
Harvard going? How's Harvard going?
Oh, it's good. 4th week of classes, so turned in my 3rd essay for my feature writing class, learning all about first-person journalism and being able to tell my own story in a way that is publishable and relevant to a global audience. So that's been really good practice.
Okay. I think Olay is laughing at you. Who's Olay, Morgan?
That's
Do you want to tell
Layla
the story?
Nasser. She's picking on me. That's my
Layla,
cookie.
I
My
need to call
A1
you.
walking coach baby. We love her.
Oh, you were talking
Top 8
about
Miss
her last
USA.
week, right?
Yeah.
You were talking. Tell people before we go to Miss Georgia. Tell people what you were telling us about Layla last week, because one of the recurring themes of this podcast is we like telling people who the good coaches are. We won't talk about the other ones, although we certainly. Well, Morgan had some issues getting through her episode on health and fitness. There are a lot of people. What were you saying? Be nice. I'm finding it. I can't do
Be
her
nice.
accent.
I'm finding it. Obsessed with Layla. So she came across my screen during the Miss USA competition. Back in the day, she was the baddie with the bangs. I had a girl crush on her before I knew who she was, and I was like, why couldn't we have been friends back then? So what I love about her, no 2 people are ever going to get the same walk, which is so refreshing to see in this industry, but also her ability to teach a woman to walk with her hips. So like if you are stiff with walking, she's going to sway it out. Like obviously for the misses, but she's going to sway it out. She's going to teach you to walk with your hips. She loves her clients the same way I do, which is a lot if you know how much I love my girls, but she's like me, just very refined and polished. Like I'm still the coal under the pressure. She's the diamond. Like she's polished and ready. I'm the rough around the edges version of her. But we're the same, just in very different formats.
I need
So,
to
yeah.
see this. Layla, you should come on our podcast one week. She has said, yes, call me. I assume that she's
Yes.
talking to you, Morgan, not to anyone.
You need to do a one-on-one interview with Layla so you can just get all of the personality. If you bring her on here with me, you're not going to get a word in edgewise. Our
Don't
FaceTime
normally
calls
get
are
a word in
diabolical.
edgewise.
Like,
It'd just be another Wednesday for me not getting another word in edgewise.
title it "Abandon All Hope, Ye Who Enter Here" for the episode.
That's how I feel every time we begin one of these. Anyway, so Morgan, since you've been yapping, why don't you catch us up with your week, and then we'll go over to Miss Cheekbones.
My week, I know, right? Sick. My week,
We just
I
take
have
a moment to appreciate
Wait,
Peyton's cheekbones.
chiseled,
They're so
bruh.
distracting.
Chiseled. What
What
contour has to do for others, God did for you naturally. Sickening, disgusting.
My
so
mother.
cold.
So
Obsessed. Obsessed. I was under the grips of whatever winter funk has been floating around for like the past 2 weeks. So the fact that I am no longer sick, that is the celebration. That is the update in my life. I'm not coughing. I can breathe through my nose again. Honestly, I think people take that for granted until they realize that they're not able to do it. And just know whoever gave that funk to me, it's on site when I see you. Like, I am gonna fight. That's it. That's my update. I feel better.
What did you end up getting? Like the Black
I don't
Plague
know.
or
I'm
something?
not going to the doctor. I'm not going to the doctor to find out. We're gonna just take some cold and flu medication and pray for the best, and let your did you have Flintstones vitamins as a kid growing up, Adrian?
No, I come from a family of doctors. We're not allowed to take vitamins because vitamins are sold by snake oil salesmen. So
I come from not that opposite of that. So yeah, the Flintstone vitamins I took from like 95 to the early 2000s, they're still in my immune system, just fighting this off for me. So I feel better. So that's my update, guys. Healthy Morgan.
we're glad that you're better and not coughing up a lung, sounding like you were smoking a pack a day.
That was disgusting, wasn't it? It was nasty.
Yeah, we won't tell people what came out of you. It's all good. Better out than in, as they say. All right. So, Miss Cheekbones, otherwise known as Peyton, Miss Georgia Volunteer, how has your week been?
It has been very productive. I'm in the process of entering a new job. So I've got a couple of appointments at the end of this week, jumping into that whole deal. I got some exciting information about what the misses are going to be doing at the teen competition in a couple of weeks. I found out the theme of something I've been waiting for the longest, and I can't tell you, but I get to go crafting, which does nothing but please me. So I've got a big craft coming on for the next 2 weeks, and I will share that with you guys, but not with the live audience. What else can I tell you? Oh, I have a really, really, really exciting appearance that's happening on Sunday. I dropped a hint on my story if you saw that. Nobody has guessed it so far. But it is an appearance that is actually my dad's dream. And he gets to go with me to this appearance. And I'm so excited. It was actually one of my first requests. As soon as the crown hit my head, I was like, okay, my dad has this crazy dream for me to do this as the state title holder. And we've made it happen. So I am so excited for Sunday.
Is it like a sporty thing or like a redneck thing?
Like, yeah.
Both?
Yes.
Why do I feel like this is like NASCAR?
Okay.
Did I do it? Was I right?
I don't think he's willing to say. I never understood. NASCAR is the one where you just keep doing left turns, right? Or right turns. Which way do you guys go? Yeah.
Left.
You guys go so fast on that one, but it's so different to like you watch Formula One or other racing, and it's like they're taking actual turns, and NASCAR is like, I don't know how fast they go, but it looks really scary. Peyton, on the subject, not everyone knows about when you say the teen competition coming up? So you're Miss Georgia Volunteer, which is part of Miss Volunteer America. You want to give people just the lowdown on the whole system. And just before you do, Sawina has said, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has said already my fave midnight podcast. Sawina, where are you tuning in from? Maybe the UK or something. And Layla has said, the cheekbones are incredible. And then she's also said, wait, is that true? But I can't remember what that's about. So
Probably about your snake oil comment.
Oh, I'm sorry if I offended any vitamin salespeople.
It's fine.
Okay. But Miss Georgia Volunteer, give people the lowdown on the Miss Volunteer America system, the teen competition you're going to in, I think it's a couple of weeks. And then obviously you're competing in Jackson, Tennessee for the big title in June. But you go.
So the best way to phrase it to anybody that may not be familiar is most people know what Miss America is and most people know what Miss USA is. I would argue that it is the healthiest balance of the two. And it is service-based. So it's all about volunteerism, all about scholarship, empowerment, responsibility, and the service that we're able to do throughout our year as a state title holder and as a national title holder. We are partnered with St. Jude and the Salvation Army, and we really do our absolute best across the board from local, national to state title holders to best support those organizations. So that's a big part of it. But yeah, I would say it's a happy marriage between America and USA.
And I will say they put on an amazing show because I went there last year in person. It was the first time I've seen a big scale American pageant in person, and the production values were absolutely amazing. I think, Peyton, you got that to look forward to. You guys walk on and they do like the slow-mo video of you guys doing your Victoria's Secret moment. It's all very cool. And Peyton I almost called her Georgia. Peyton was doing some volunteering the other week, and I made her tell us about it. And then she was, I wasn't trying to make her cry, but Peyton sometimes tears up. But Peyton, that's a lot. And I will show you guys a clip in a second when we go to the topic of the week. I'll show you a clip from Peyton as to some of the work she did. Actually, no, we'll get you to talk about it afterwards. Okay, so Layla said, Sawina said she's from the Netherlands. Cool. Dutch. I've interviewed a lot of the Dutch girls. You have to tell me if you know Satya. And I interviewed Satya Langstraat, who was Miss Earth Netherlands, 2021, I want to say. And then Sana Esme, who's one of your compatriots, Haley. Did you say Sana Esme was like 6 foot tall?
She's really tall. Yeah. I don't know how tall everybody at Miss Earth is because obviously we do inches in the US and centimeters elsewhere. So sometimes we would go to describe our heights to each other and things would get confusing very quickly. But yes, she is really tall.
Right, yeah, because you Americans use imperial and the rest of the world is using the correct measurement system. Layla has said, can we circle back to why we should not take vitamins? Is that for me or is that for you? Is that for you?
It's for you, but I'll answer
for you, Adrian.
Well, okay. Now, I will say I've dabbled in a lot of things like having wheatgrass and things like that. For a moment, I was a raw foodist. And so I was all about them vitamins and nutrients. And raw foodist is you don't cook anything because you kill all the nutrients. I prefer to get whatever nutrients I trusted more from a natural source rather than coming from a pill or a powder. But most doctors don't have a hugely high opinion. And I think this makes sense of vitamins because they actually deal quite often. For example, I think the phrase of the moment is vitamin D and magnesium. And my whole family is doctors and they have to deal with people who just want magnesium, and it doesn't do anything. Or vitamin D. And then at a certain point you end up with actual like vitamin poisoning. So I think vitamins, how did we get onto this topic? I think vitamins are good to like fill holes. Like if you have gaps in your diet, but I'd say first you got to go to Whole Foods, not the store, because you guys have Whole Foods. I'm not talking about that. I mean, actually eat well. I'll let Morgan go off on that tangent. But I think vitamins can be useful to plug certain gaps. But I would never say, you can eat whatever you want. Just take your vitamins and you'll be fine. So I'm sorry if that's offended 50% of you, but that's just...
Oh, no. I think it was just an interesting... That's all you see now are influencers plugging drink this, take this, I supplement with this. Bro, these companies, majority of them don't third-party test their supplements. So you don't know what you're actually consuming. You don't know the actual percentage of the vitamin they're pushing. And yeah, you should get your nutrients from your food. It should be supplemental, not
Or it's
predominant.
supplements.
Yeah,
It's in the actual word, right?
It's
It's
the name.
supplements.
yeah.
I used to work for one of those MLM vitamin companies, and the moment I realized I'd made a huge mistake, I should have realized it was MLM in itself is a huge mistake. Sorry, I'm getting offended. No, the remaining 50%, but it was one of those, let's call it schemes, where you sell nutritional powders and shakes, and I was very healthy at the time. I was, having smoothies, this healthy oil, omega oils, and all this stuff. And she took one look at what I was saying and say, "Oh, that's not a proper meal." And she wanted me to have the supplement shake instead. And I don't like, what's a proper meal? But guys, you do you. We're getting off track. Yes, small world in the Netherlands. Only in the States. No, other people use, if you talk about imperial and metric, I know the Brits, they sometimes go into like miles. The Brits I don't understand, because sometimes they go metric, sometimes they go imperial. Here in Australia, which is where I'm from, we're always metric. And do you guys in America, do you ever use metric anything? Like kilometers, meters, centimeters, grams, anything?
In science, specifically.
Doesn't that really confuse you then?
No. Metric is easy because everything is base 10. So we just memorize it when we get to chemistry in high school. And then that was something I did a lot in my undergrad for my bio degree. So yeah, it's not too hard.
You're a brain box. So
Okay,
it might be hard for normal people. Layla has said, "Oh yeah, sorry if I've offended a giant vitamin company. We are looking for sponsors."
Nah, shoot up there.
Morgan wants us to get sponsored by Waffle House. Morgan, would you like to pitch Waffle House in case they're watching? Not Morgan,
Waffle
Peyton.
House.
Sorry, you pitch. No, Peyton's
We both want to pitch Waffle House.
No. You want to pitch Waffle House. So Peyton, quick, do a pitch. Waffle House is watching.
Well, someone help me think of a jingle. Waffle House is the best, better than the rest. And I love their. You can't tell.
Stop.
That's not my talent.
For clarification, Peyton will not be singing at Miss Volunteer America. On that note, though, you are the speed painter. Have you got your speed painting, what you're going to be doing, sorted, or are you still working on it?
Yes, we have gotten it nailed down. We have finished the cut, I believe, of my music that we're using. And I am in the slinging paint process. So that's my favorite part. It's the messiest part. I need lots and lots of canvases and about 20 minutes every day.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. How's that clay wheel going for you? Did you see Ghost, by the way? That scene that Morgan and I kept telling you need to watch.
Yes, I did finally. It's a great movie. I am trying to find a pottery wheel and chair setup that keeps me even with the actual clay, because you're supposed to brace your arms on your elbows, but it's actually proving kind of hard to find a chair that's at the right height as the wheel table, and also sturdy enough. I've already knocked it over twice, so.
Just do a standing squat, like a wall sit, but standing squat. Burn those quads out, bro.
It's so low.
New workout. 20 minute.
It's like
wheel squat.
Booty an inch off the ground. Low.
I like that. That's called, I can't say what it's called.
It's called, I can't do that.
Okay.
All that's coming to mind is that song, Shorty Get Low, 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 Low. Can I ask you, just in general, but maybe Morgan, there's that thing called the Asian squat.
That's what I was going to say it's called, but I feel like I'm
okay.
Definitely.
So, to be clear, there seems to be some, I don't know if it's a truth or a myth, that when Asians squat all the way down to the floor, they are the only ones who can keep their feet flat on the floor. And I can do that, but I never thought it was a weird thing until I see everyone else do it. And when you guys all squat on the floor, then the soles of your feet come up. So
it's predominantly Asian who can do it, but I can do it.
I think I could do that.
I can do it. Is it like a flexibility thing?
It must be, but it's probably also a genetic like length of the calves or something.
Or just how tight or like not tight your Achilles tendon is, because some people
Yeah.
have really tight Achilles and they just can't bend there. So I mean, my husband has to fuss at me because that's how I'll work on my computer, like Schmiegel. I'll just be like hunched with my computer on the floor working in that position. Honestly, if it wouldn't look like I was like taking a poo, I would probably be seated like that on this podcast. But I would never hear the end of it from him and my mom. So like I can't. But I could sit like that all day, every day. In my family, we call it the Tootle squat because my granddaddy Tootle used to sit like that to work on cars. Love it.
Poodle.
He was a cutie.
That's cute.
Remember one of my friends over in the UK said if she ever had her crowning moment, and she did because she ended up being Miss Universe Great Britain, but she said you guys know, well, you all know, I don't, but when you get your crown, some of you, and then you have your crowning moment, someone takes a photo and you're just hoping to God that you're pretty cry or whatever it is. But she said the one thing she didn't like is when people squat after they win, because she said it looks like you're going to do a you know what on the stage. And so that's just what you reminded me of right there. Hey, just to back up for a second, I know we're wildly off course, but that's why it's called Pageants and Tangents. Winning reactions. Haley, what was your Haley's going, of course you asked me a question just when I'm taking a drink. What was your reaction? Walk the people through your winning reaction, and then I want to contrast it with Peyton's, and then maybe Morgan if she can remember hers, because she did. You remember. So Haley, walk people through. Tell people what your winning moment was like, and then we're going to contrast it to Miss Cheekbones.
Okay, so I'm very emotionally regulated. First of all, I'm usually very calm. I just want to preface this story with that. But they called the name of my first runner-up, and I hugged her. And then I stepped back behind her because for Earth, they sash the first runner-up, Miss Earth USA Air, first. So I waited and I was doing my breathing exercises so that I would look very calm. And then when they were done sashing her, I hugged my predecessor. And then they gave me my sash and did a little squat. And I got my flowers. I was like, thank you. And then I kind of forgot that there was a crown for a second. And I saw Miss Earth Jessica Lane hand Miss Earth Water, Bea, my predecessor, my crown. And I was like, oh, right. You can actually see me go, oh, and then kind of squat so she can crown me. She put the thing on my head. We took the little picture. And then I had to kind of hold my crown and like walk very slowly and carefully because there's an extra large crown that they crown you with. They've done away with it now. I have it in a box in my house, but it's like the size of my face, guys.
Nice.
And I felt like it was going to fall like forward and my head was going to go through it. So I was trying to like wave as gracefully as possible and keep my crown on there. And then I went and I hugged my friends and that was it. It was like the calmest crowning moment ever, except for like concerns that the crown was going to fall off.
I feel like it was such like why do I feel like every photo they took was like perfectly like vogued, like you were just like hand on the crown, hand out to wave. Like it was just like
it was clean. It was really clean.
Serve.
Yeah.
She was a classy boy.
She's like literally one of the calmest people I know because we'll contrast. And guys, I feel like we need a disclaimer under that. Like these results are not typical, you know, when they have like financial schemes.
Yeah. No.
Really, I've never heard anyone have a crowning moment like that. For contrast, Miss Peyton, could you describe your crowning moment?
Well, I didn't have a moment where I was hand in hand with another girl. So we were all in a line, all holding hands. And when they called my name, I panicked for just a minute. I think it was sheer disbelief. I really didn't expect it. And watching the video back, because I don't remember much, I turned the other way like I was going to sprint off stage. And then I stopped myself and grabbed my chest, grabbed my heart, and then I turned back, got about halfway to Morgan, who was Miss Georgia Volunteer 2024, and I bent over and slapped both of my knees like doggone it. And I got back up and then I proceeded to ugly cry. Not a pretty crier. My face is twisted up, and I just kept going like this and thanking everybody so much. And I held a squat for a very long time. And then I got up and I didn't know what else to do. So I just stood there and waved and did a little walk. And I was looking for my mom.
That's valid. I
It's
mean,
somewhat of a contrast there, contrast
yeah.
in crowning moments. I remember seeing that video of you slapping your legs. It looked like you were trying to get them to work. I
Oh.
didn't quite know what was going on. You looked like you were beating yourself up. It's like self-harm or something.
It was Southern disbelief, I guess. Just slapping my knee.
The
Could
only
read the lips.
thing-
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I need to watch this.
It's definitely
Oh,
on my page. So yeah.
That's
I
iconic.
think I might have even brought it. I might have intended to bring it up when I interviewed Peyton, but Peyton's internet wasn't cooperating. Morgan, what about your crowning moment? I don't know if this is common knowledge, by the way, that you had one.
So in 2011, I won a national title for the teen division. You'll have to hire me to figure out what national title it is. I'm not telling anybody. The whole time I was holding hands with this girl, she was probably 6 foot flat-footed, or at least 5'11", and I just kept saying, hug me when you win, hug me when you win, hug me when you win. Like I was losing. I knew I was losing. And then they call my name, open mouth scream. The photo, you can see my tonsils, bro. Like I think my jaw unhinged like a snake. Like you could have just Kobe'd any basketball right in, like open basket. And so yeah, I screamed and then I climbed her like a tree. Like I jump punked her like all the way around the neck. And then I kind of blacked out for the whole sash and crown moment. But when you watch the video replay, God rest her soul, you can hear my ma too. That's what I call my grandma. She goes, "Go Morgan." And then she goes, "I need my oxygen." And I'm like, so like it is on YouTube. You just have to dig into the depths of Hades to find it. But yeah, I have a cousin who was Miss South Carolina United States. I think like 2009, 2010, and her mom and her, they were both in the audience when I won. And my Aunt Becky, she goes, "Well, you and Carrie have one thing in common." She's like, "And when you win, all you see is tonsils." And I was like, yeah, it was not classy. It was definitely more on par with Peyton and not Haley. I feel like if you're ever in a panic moment, don't find me and Peyton, find Haley. Like Haley's already got a plan. She's got a binder. She's got a 10-step guide to get you out of any situation. Peyton's gonna run away and I'm going to climb on top of a very tall human. So it's real sexy.
I'm a solid emergency contact.
I'm not
for sure.
I'm gonna freak out.
I'm more apt to cry than I am to run away.
I love a good cry though.
Yeah.
I just need to know if you're an ugly crier.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Well,
I've seen worse than that, Peyton. I don't think you're an ugly crier. I think you're being unkind to yourself. Morgan, I think that's the first time I've heard of anyone climbing another human as part of their winning reaction.
Climbed her like a tree, son. I was up on that girl. I was up on her. 5'7". I went.
Flip that and take that completely out of context. I don't think I've ever heard of someone in the background going, "Get my oxygen." That's
hilarious.
She needed. Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do, girl. She was hyping me up. Give that woman her oxygen. We ain't flying. We drove. She had to check nothing.
Can we just, I don't know, I hope all of you guys have people who support you in your pageant endeavors, but can we just take a moment to thank everyone who actually supports you guys in the crowd? Because I've sat in pageants in the crowd many, many times, and it's really difficult when your person is on stage and you can't do anything. I used to tennis coach, and I'd rather be on the court than be in the stands because you can't do anything when you're in the stands. And in tennis, it was actually completely illegal to coach your player. So you literally couldn't say anything except give them encouraging words. You don't want to look like you're freaking out because then they freak out too. But all those people who just sit in the crowd and have to deal with your guys' craziness of, "Oh, my gown arrived and it's not the right size. It's not the right color. Oh, my spray tan turned me 5 shades of orange. Oh, my extensions are coming out." All this stuff. So you guys who are in the crowds,
Saints.
yeah, I don't know how you do it.
It's horrible. And from someone who went from pageant stage to pageant audience, I'd compete 10 times over. Sitting there having no control over these perfect little humans that you love so much. Adrian, I don't know if you had any dogs in the fight last year at Nationals, but do your hands get sweaty when you're watching your people compete? Because don't ever come up to me in a pageant and shake my hand. I'm so sorry if you do. My hands are dripping sweat. Like, I get so stressed out watching these women on stage.
Yeah, it depends. So last year in the lead up to MVA, so not Peyton's year, last year, I interviewed maybe 6 or 7 of the Miss Volunteer girls. And, you know, if you've interviewed them for an hour or an hour and a half, you know them. And so you want to see them do well. But I can't lie. I mean, you always have one person, probably more than the others, who you want to see win. Not to say they're the most deserving. It's just, you know, it's always personal bias. I don't think last year, I don't think I was that personally invested. Having said that, this year, if I end up going, I don't think I could do it because Peyton would be there. I literally get a moment with, like, I feel I'm almost like a bad luck charm. It's like, if I watch it, then she'll lose. What I'll do is I'll go outside, and when I come back, oh, she's won. Cool. Because I had a very good friend in Australia who had first runner-up syndrome. I think she came first runner-up 4 times in a row.
Oh.
And it wasn't even just that. It was first runner-up. And then she was practicing really hard. Second runner-up. First runner-up by half a point. And then when she finally won, she won by, again, half a point. And so, not that you guys would ever do this. This is me. I'm not a pageant girl. I'm not speaking for these guys. I knew her parents very well. As soon as I saw that her name was Alicia, as soon as I saw that Alicia had won, I didn't do anything. Everyone else is screaming. I went downstairs to the bar, bought a bottle of champagne, poured it, gave it to her parents, and had a few myself. Because, like, oh, I can breathe after 5 years. So when you know someone really well, obviously you want to see them do well. But this is way away from who the pageant hot picks are, who's got the prettiest headshot. I don't believe in any of that. But when you really want someone to win because you know they're good people, it's very stressful. I'd rather be on stage myself. Yeah. No, I feel you on that one. So I don't know. Peyton, how would you feel if Morgan and I were in the audience? Is that good or is that pressure?
No, I hope the both of you are there.
Do we have to scream?
I'm Pentecostal, honey. I'll scream for the both of us. Like,
when I scream, people run away because I got a very deep voice. So that's why I can't scream.
No, I think it's a good thing. And I also say, and this is slightly off topic, but we keep talking about it and it keeps popping up in my head, so I'm going to say it. I want people to scream for me. And I also want my people to scream for other people that don't have people screaming for them.
Yeah.
Because there's no worse feeling. I've been on that side before. Just like a timing thing, you know, my family's not there or whatever, and I don't know anybody in the crowd. You just want to hear the screams. You just do.
Yeah.
100%. I want to ask Haley, because Haley competed for Miss Earth back in the Philippines late last year.
Yes.
And I think there's a clip that's literally pinned to your Instagram. I think you're going down an escalator and you're looking up, and there are people chanting, members of the public, because this is the Philippines, right? And then USA. So what did that feel like? That must feel pretty
it's
pretty
insane.
Cool.
Yeah, I teared up. So the way that goes when you compete internationally, you are a celebrity genuinely in those countries. So I won the gold medal for talent. And when I tell you, hundreds of college students swarmed me in this crowd, and I was giving autographs and taking selfies and meeting people, and it got shoulder to shoulder where I couldn't move, and they had to send security guards to extract me. And it took them like a few minutes to get me out of there. It was the coolest thing ever. I wish I had it on video. The pinned video on Instagram is children that I got to meet at a school while we were doing the intelligence round. So after we spoke, they took us on a school tour. So those are children on a balcony, and I'm standing in the courtyard, and they were chanting USA to get my attention, and they were taking videos of me. So I took a video of them too, and it was really sweet.
That is so cool. That is one of the things I will say, looking at Miss Volunteer last year, the Nationals, you guys do, and Peyton can look forward to this, you get treated like royalty. Like, they bus you around. you go to private events and people are actually coming up to you and asking you to sign. So you better practice that signature, Peyton. But they're asking you to sign things, and you got your place card in front of you so people know who you are. That, look, coming from Australia, you could win Miss Universe Australia, walk down the street and no one would know who you are. And it's nice. I know it's maybe a bit egotistical, but when you work really hard for something, as Haley did, and Peyton, you well know, it's just nice, I think, when it gets recognized. But I will encourage you, like what Peyton said, because everyone within reason on that stage has worked really hard. And it's just nice that everyone gets a bit of recognition, because sometimes there's you're competing in Tennessee. So obviously when Tennessee goes on stage, and I've interviewed Megan, I think she's amazing. Obviously there's going to be a very, very loud scream. Mm-hmm. But you just want to, there's always going to be one person who comes from maybe not a big pageant state, too far away, maybe only mum could be there, and it's like, oh, she walks on stage and there's nothing. It's like, don't do that. Try and cheer for everyone.
No, yeah, I'm her instant bestie. Like, the second somebody's going on stage and it's silent, what's that?
We got her.
You better hype your bestie TikTok sound. Yeah, that's one. I'm to the point where I've in the past people have been like, oh, are you coaching her? And I'm like, no, that's my girl. What up, sis?
That's
Welcome
right.
home. You're safe.
Definitely.
Yeah, you get asked that. I get asked, oh, so who are you supporting, and who do you think will win? And I just say, I never say anything. I don't. I feel like it's bad luck. Although my friend who won Miss Universe Great Britain insisted I'm good luck, because when she won her big title, it was because I was there from Australia. And then she wanted me to come over for Miss Universe Great Britain, but I couldn't do it. But it was on my birthday, and she won again. Yes, Miss Peyton. Cheekbones.
I need to know if you wear the buttons that you posted. Do you actually wear them during competition week?
Yeah, so here in Australia, we don't do things like that, right? So I'm over in America. It's some kind of fever dream, because people coming up to me and going, oh, you're that pageant person. And I'm like, how do you know me? Because I'm not used to being recognized. And then someone came up to me, I can't remember who was first, say, oh, you need to wear a badge. Like, okay, cool, let's wear a badge. And then I'm getting pinned. And then someone else saw it. It's like, oh, let me give you a badge. So, oh, let me give you a badge. And then it's like, what's like a armor-plated dinosaur, and you end up walking around, and it's like I got studs and spurs on, thinking clank, clank, clank. I was just saying, there's some space left on the back, but they're all behind me. I'm keeping them because they're kind of cool. They're kind of cool keepsakes. So yeah, I still got them. I'll keep them.
I'll bring some.
We did have a topic today, and we'll circle around to it in a minute. Just before, I'm going back to the Instagram comments. Serena has said, learning so many new things. I don't know what, but okay. Sorry, Serena. I don't know what you've learned from us. Carolyn Martin has said, okay, Morgan, face beat.
That's my goal. That's my cookie.
CRS 1974A. I don't know who that is, but she has said she was Grace. Absolutely nailed it. So proud. Anyone know who that is? I was going to say,
definitely not talking about me or Peyton. Not at all.
Definitely not me. I've never been on stage. I will say also, I assume this is Peyton Haley's mum who wrote this.
Yes. Yeah.
Hi, Cobalt.
So, would you like to explain this comment?
Oh, Cobalt is my cat, and he made a little appearance in the beginning earlier. He was sitting on my desk. He has since left us. I don't know where he is, but he usually circles back after a little bit.
Off to be mischievous. If I was a cat, I would be doing the most secretive things.
He is the most regal cat. I was chatting with Haley the other day, I think after our interview. And have you guys ever heard those sounds? Like, if you play this, your cat will come. And so I asked Haley, can Cobalt hear me? She said, yes. So I played that sound, and he was busy like sleeping. He was mooning the camera, so his back. And then as soon as I played that sound, you hear him go, whoop. And then he's looking at the laptop. And he's like, Mom, there's a cat in there. You got to let the cat out. So it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. He's much more elegant and regal than my cat, and he's a lot skinnier than Peyton's cat. That's all I will say.
He's majestic.
Fat shame her cat.
I'm sure of that.
No, I know Hippopotamus, who was smaller than Peyton's.
He's proud of his pudge.
Octavius has a binge eating disorder.
Let's not go back there, because you won't be able to stop laughing. Miss Georgia Teen Volunteer, I believe this is one for you. Peyton has said, yay, pay-ra.
Pay-ra is my nickname.
Oh. New to me.
It's short, I'll tell you. I don't know if my mom's watching, but if she is, she's about to be embarrassed. My mom loves when people have multiple names, like 2 first names and a middle name and a last name, because when they get in trouble, it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because you yell the whole thing. It's like John, Michael, Jacob, whatever your last name.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Jingleheimer Schmidt is what I was going to say, but yeah. So my name is not that long. And so my mom decided to put a lot of names together that mean nothing for me. And so I get yelled at, and I get Pepe Rodriguez Emilio Estevez Jr. And Claire and Charlotte, who's our Azalea teen, came with me to my aunt's house in Valdosta, and they call me Peyra because none of them call me Pepe Rodriguez Emilio Estevez Jr. like my mother. Everybody calls me Peyra or Rara or Rodriguez.
Okay. I'm just calling you Cheekbones. What was the name again?
Pepe Rodriguez Emilio Estevez Jr.
I like how there's just Emilio Estevez, like randomly in the middle of your name. Sounds like someone
Yes.
has a crush on Emilio Estevez.
I think that's the basketball player, right?
I thought it was an actor.
Oh, maybe Rodriguez is the basketball player. One of them is a basketball player. She wanted me to be tall. It didn't happen.
I thought Rodriguez was a
Try.
baseball player. Sorry, Peyton. I don't mean to. And I'm from Australia. I have no idea who anyone is outside Michael Jordan. So
I know no sports, and I don't know where my mom came up with it. I just know one of them is a basketball player, and she wanted me to be tall.
okay. Well, sorry, Peyton's mum, that it didn't work out for you.
Sorry.
Sawina has said, yes, amen. Scream for all the girls. Haley, your mum has said, I broke my vocal cord screaming when Haley won.
She did. I could hear it.
With the
Her
snap.
throat
You
was
say
sore.
Didn't you say you deafened your family when you went down that roller coaster? Because you screamed so loud
Oh.
that you deafened them?
It was the Tower of Terror at Disney.
Ooh,
I'm really afraid of heights.
best. The best ride.
No, never again. Never again. For everyone else's sake, not mine.
I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love rides.
Oh, I like rides.
funny
I just
how-
don't do heights.
It's funny how different you two are. On that. Speaking of differences, Peyton, have you descended from great heights yet?
I have not yet, but it's starting to get warm, so I'm starting to get the bug.
Okay. All right. We're talking about skydiving for those who don't know. She's not becoming some angel and descending from above, although you could. I don't know.
Right.
Haley's mum has said that she was scared. I don't know of what. And then she's written under, sorry, there's a delay. She said, Haley's mum. Hi, Haley's mum. Wynn has said we want a Wallaby update. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I do weekly. By the way, go to thepageantproject.com if you want weekly pageant coaching tips. But I do a weekly video, and I had to go downstairs to record it because we're having the house painted.
It's all the
And I
same.
didn't like paint fumes, right? It's like that song about then I got high. Anyway, I went downstairs, and as I'm recording, I really don't like it. I told Haley this. I don't like it when there's people milling around and I'm doing a recording. It's okay, like if you're just there, you're there. But when someone's like sneaking around in the background, I really hate it. Like if you're going to come out, just come out, right? Stop hiding. So I was getting really agitated, but I was running out of time because Haley was going to interview me. Started the recording, and I hear thump. It's like at the back in the bush, what we call the bush anyway, right? And I look around, and there's miniature Skippy right there. He's probably about 2 foot tall, really muscular, very dark, miniature like kangaroo. And he's like thump, 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 thump. So apparently he lives with us now, Win. We have a fence around our property, which was supposed to keep him out. He found his way in, and now said fence is keeping him in because he can't get over the fence. So now we have a permanent wallaby. That's the wallaby update for you.
I told you to make him a pet, and now you actually have to.
You know this is not a domestic tame. Oh, isn't he cute? This is like, oh my God, a dingo ate my baby kind of moment.
I'm from the South. You can domesticate any animal as long as you discipline it properly. I've
That's a
seen
fact.
there are rednecks with pet alligators,
Squirrels,
raccoons, possums,
whatever.
lions, and tigers and bears.
Then why do you guys all have such problems with spiders?
Because you can't domesticate a spider.
It's an animal.
You can't
Not a
spank
plant.
it without killing it.
I can try.
It's an arachnid.
What are you gonna do? Thump it?
Thank you, science nerd. I had a friend who grew up in Haiti, and apparently you can get really big spiders there. And she was terrified of spiders. So one night she went downstairs. There's a giant spider, and her dad didn't like spiders either. So he actually got like a taser gun. I don't know what you guys have, and he tased the spider. But it was so big that all it did was annoy it, and so it started chasing them. And apparently, all you could smell was like burning hair smell. So I don't know how big that spider is, and I don't know what taser guns you guys have, but I've got nothing against spiders.
I'd
I'd rather them not be in my coffee cup and in my mouth. Aside from that, all good.
I'd move. But I'd keep
You guys are just being discriminatory. Spiders are animals too. Spiders have rights. We'll get to the topic after this. So Kelly has said, how did I not know this? Pepe Rodriguez.
Hi, bye.
That's my director. Hey, Kelly.
Bye, bye.
So I'm reading your guys' usernames. I have no idea who any of you are, but feel free to ask Peyton any questions. She wants interview questions. Make them as hard as you can. Haley's mum has said, scared of the people who are trying to touch her in the what?
I don't know.
I know you mentioned a couple of times that you might have had stalker issues, but were there people trying to grab you?
Yeah. It depends on the country you're in and the culture. It wasn't anything bad. It was just, I think a lot of people aren't expecting the physical contact with the fans.
Yeah. No, I never don't touch people, guys. Obviously, without consent. Just don't do it. And also, when you hug people and posing for a photo, please do it in a nice way, not a creepy way. I've seen some photos where it looks like, Morgan talked about climbing up a human. Please don't do that when you're taking a photo with a pageant girl, right? Have some respect. I do what they call the hover hands, like the arm is around the back, but not actually touching. Some of you, the pageant fans, just get way too familiar, and it's like a full-on hug, and it's like, don't do that, because I will shoot you. Not that I have a gun.
Guilty.
Oh, you're different though, because you're
You like
can
know
hug
us.
Mo.
Yeah.
You hug people you know. I'm talking about people who go and hug people they don't know. That's different, right? You're not going around randomly climbing human beings in the street, okay?
Not this week.
Yeah, don't say no more. Haley's mom has said in the USA, no touchy. Just anywhere, guys. I don't care where you're from. Just respect other people's, private spaces, especially when it's a young woman's flown from the other side of the world. Just you don't know them. At the very least, ask them first. And if they say no, then don't do it. All right. Well, we had a topic to get to. We've gone on for about 50 minutes before we get to it, so we will get there now. We're going to talk about social media, but before that, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll show you one of Miss Cheekbones. Keep calling her Miss Cheekbones. I need to stop doing that. Miss Peyton's service videos, Make-A-Wish videos. So we'll be right back after this.
Hey everyone, we are out here today in Rome, Georgia. I'm obviously not dressed like myself. My first job when I turned 16 was working as a party princess. A few years later, I auditioned for Walt Disney World and got hired on as a Walt Disney World performer. So this is actually my second skin. This is very familiar for me, but we are waiting for Sweet Briley. We're here with the Make-A-Wish Foundation today, and Sweet Briley is getting her wish, and she's going to go to Disney World. Elsa is probably one of her favorites, so we've got a little Elsa dress for her so we can match around today, and a little Elsa crown, and I'm going to tell her that she is headed to Disney World in a few weeks.
Right. Well, Peyton, do you want to give someone on Instagram who said, "Oh my goodness, my heart." First off, can everyone hear me? Because I know. All right. So, Peyton, do you want to give people context about that?
Yes. So, I have worked with Make-A-Wish for years now. I want to say maybe 10 years. My first experience with dressing up as a princess for Make-A-Wish was, I think, about 10 years ago. And that was before my experience working at Walt Disney World. Both experiences have changed my life, shifted the way that I look at the world, the way that I look at my health, the way that I look at opportunities. Um, and yeah, it's one of my biggest motivators. Very happy to be partnered with Make-A-Wish Georgia, and I'm really hoping to expand upon that even bigger, because the magic that can be created, it's really something else, and the impact that can be made not only on the children that you're helping but on yourself. It's truly amazing. So
I felt
Well
like the
said.
Grinch watching that. Like my heart grew 3 sizes.
I know, little Braylee,
It
she's
was
awesome.
stop. You're the sweetest little human. As if we couldn't love you more.
She's the best.
Can I mean, let me ask a silly question. What's it like after a day like that? Assuming that it took you maybe, a couple of hours to get dressed up, you spent a couple of hours with her. Because after I get off an interview, I've told Haley this before, I need to kind of sit down and just, because when I'm interviewing someone, it's so emotionally intense. And for my brain, I'm thinking, well, so then I need to sit down because I'm exhausted. And most people don't understand that. But what is it like for you after you have an interaction with a child like that?
I like to say that I'm uniquely qualified for scenarios like that. We're all put in these different places in our lives and given these different opportunities, and you walk away from them and you think, oh, maybe that'll open a door for me. Maybe that'll lead to this or that, or whatever, really. But my biggest dream growing up, I just wanted to be a princess, right? Like, I wanted to help people, but I just wanted to be a princess. I wanted to be like Ariel. I wanted to be like Elsa. And having that opportunity, I thought I was just checking off a mark on my bucket list. But it was so, so, so much more than that. My first experience with a VIP guest who is typically with Make-A-Wish while you're at Disney. Those interactions last as long as those children can stand it. And they're truly, truly what the heart of Walt Disney World is, what the heart of service truly is to me. And having that practice working in Walt Disney World has just given me so much more life to step into the situations with Make-A-Wish. And as Miss Georgia Volunteer, it's not like I don't come across those situations as Miss Georgia Volunteer as well. And I think, having done that at Disney World was just the Lord preparing me for more opportunities like this. And I hope that I get to work more closely with Make-A-Wish going forward.
Yeah, I don't cry sometimes when people should cry, but I tear up at stuff like that because it's like you can tell how much of an impact that must make. I don't know what the look on her face was like when she saw you, but yeah, that's when you're doing good work. We will segue over to social media because I think that's a good point to do it, because sometimes I feel like when you're doing work like that, pageant girls can sometimes feel pressured. They need to capture the moment, do the social media. And sometimes it just feels like in poor taste. So we'll get into social media. We won't spend too long on it because it's been on for almost an hour already. To give context, I think we'll talk mainly about Instagram. I do know for most pageant contestants, Instagram is the place to be. Maybe secondarily TikTok and YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel. And then if you're an old person like me, maybe Facebook and Meta, although with all respect, there's a lot of people chiming in from Facebook. And that surprised me. I didn't realize it was happening. But if I go across to Peyton first, with the social media, because obviously there was a video, you weren't holding it yourself. Obviously someone was filming. So tell us how that happened.
So I have been fortunate enough to have one of my very, very, very good friends come on to the Miss Georgia board as a board member this year. And she is the director of social media and marketing for Miss Georgia Volunteer. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not normal. I didn't have a social media manager before I became Miss Georgia Volunteer, but it has severely changed the game. To be frank with you, if Julia hadn't have been there for that moment, I wouldn't have gotten a clip of that moment. I wouldn't have gotten any pictures except for maybe what Braylee's mom took. Because you can't. And there's so many moments as title holders when you have the crown and the sash on and you're not doing something like that. It's just not appropriate for you to whip out your phone at any moment. There are just times to do it and times to not. And it's been a huge game changer to have Julia with me. But you can't always have a Julia with you, right? Like I can't keep her in my pocket at all times. I wish that I definitely could because she's a huge asset. But in the same vein, you have to know how to work around those moments and get maybe before and after clips if that's the best way to do that. It's all very situational. But yeah, Julia has changed the game for me. She's the only reason I'm able to be completely 1,000% present in those moments and become Elsa for these little girls and really create magic and not break the fourth wall. Because with things like that, you can't break the fourth wall. Otherwise, the little girl is going to say, oh, you have a wig on, or, you know, anything like that. So you have to do your best to capture them in that moment, capture their attention and really make the magic. And I could not have my phone anywhere near me. I had my car parked in the woods. I came out of the woods like she didn't know I was there and didn't know I didn't slide off on a piece of ice. So I think it's really important that you keep that air about you, not just as a princess when you're dressed up and when you have a wig on, but also when you have the crown and sash on, you're representing something other than yourself and you have to stay professional. And let's be real, the only way that we're going to stay relevant in pageantry is to stay on social media and stay up to date on the trends and things like that. So we do need the content. It is part of the job now. Maybe not, 15, 20 years ago, but it is now, and we have to stay relevant with those things. It's just all about working around it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of points that we can jump off there on the whole social media thing. I feel it's like you absolutely need to know your way around it. I think you need maybe social media fluent, but there's also big challenges with it. I think comparison. I think I was speaking with Haley when she interviewed me. This demon that is comparison, because we're wired to compare ourselves to other people, and social media just magnifies that. And like if you're in Peyton's position now, preparing for a very competitive pageant, or Haley, and you're going up against, I don't know, 70 or 80 contestants from around the world, social media is great in that you can reach out to them and say hello. It's also really dangerous when you can reach out, see what they're doing, and then you compare yourself with them. And you can't get away without having social media anymore. And so whether you like it or not, I think you need to get good at it. Before I go over to Morgan, Peyton, I know that I'm remembering from our interview, you only got onto social media at the age of 18 because you weren't allowed to have it before then, which I actually think is a fantastic idea. For context, here in Australia, you can't have a social media account now when you're under the age of 16, which, to be fair, that presents challenges now for our teen pageant contestants. But how have you found your social media journey, Peyton, because you came to it a bit later in the game?
I'm a creative at heart. I was doing theater around the same time that I got a hold of social media. And if you know anything about theater kids, they're chronically online. So I feel like I learned a lot very fast. And I had a lot of fun helpers to help me along that way. I was also still kind of a teenager when I got a hold of these things. So I was staying up to date with the trends. I heard things in the classroom. I kept track of everything. So even coming to the game late, I mean, even in pageantry, you pick things up and you figure things out along the way.
All right. Well, Slim Shady, how do you approach your social media when you're not climbing random tall human beings?
Oh, I honestly, I'm just throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. Yeah, I'm just praying for the best over here. It's all organic. It's as transparent without scaring people off as humanly possible as it could be. I don't think I could be like fully feral Morgan on, and I mean, maybe I could. Maybe that's what's keeping me from going viral, because everyone keeps sending me these TikToks of someone who got married and their name's Bailey, and I'm like, why is it not happening to me? So I just throw whatever I can at the wall and pray it sticks and that my people will find me, which is kind of seemed to have been what's happened so far. I will say, when it comes to social media, and this might be taking a severe left, we might be going this way and I'm about to go. I don't be nice. I'm finding it. I don't think if you're doing a pageant and you don't think that the judges and the directors are looking at your social media page, you are sorely mistaken. If you think that just because your username is different than your legal name, they will not find you, women are the FBI. We will find you no matter what. And if you are under the assumption that you can post whatever you want on social media and have no negative repercussions in regards to how you potentially end up placing in a pageant, you are also sorely mistaken. I am friends with a lot of people who have judged in the past and have been told stories of people who genuinely could have been the winner of pageants, but because of what they had on social media, game over.
Yeah.
Like, not happening for them. If you are competing in a pageant, you need to make sure that whatever you are posting is still tasteful and still classy to an extent. You can be hilarious, you can be goofy. We don't need to see you bust down Tatiana on TikTok. You don't need to be partaking in all of the ratchet trends that are going around just to stay relevant with Instagram and TikTok followers. Please just, it's the same thing as a job interview, because it is a job. It's, you are representing a business for a full year. Keep in mind that they are watching that. I mean, there are some really funny trends that I would love to post, some really funny sound clips that I would love to post, but you're not going to catch me doing it solely because I'm a national sponsor for multiple pageant organizations that represent teenage girls. And that, to me, that's just not appropriate. So it's not going to happen. I just have to laugh at it and keep scrolling. So be painfully mindful of what you're posting. I've seen plenty of people who had all of the potential to be incredible state and national, even local title holders, and they post it away. Their posts are what washes it right on down the river. So be mindful of what you're putting out there. Even though they say the internet is forever, and I don't know if I don't know if I agree, because Adrian, did you ever have a MySpace?
No, but I remember that person who was on MySpace. Was he MySpace Rob or something? I remember him. Tom, that's right. Yeah, no.
I can't find my MySpace pictures to save my life. So, like, when people say the internet is forever, I'm like, but is it? Because I would do anything to get access to middle school and early high school Morgan's MySpace page. Can't find it anywhere. But yeah, let's just assume it is. Be really smart about what you guys are posting. Like, if you wouldn't be okay with your 13-year-old sister posting it, I don't care if you're 26. Also, you should not be okay with you posting it, even if you are of legal age. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I thought you were going to say, I just randomly post whatever I want, and then you gave us the TED Talk. But it was a good TED Talk. I will definitely say, I mean, I've judged a few times, and first thing I do is I'll look up someone's Instagram, you know, if it's either social media, the website. First off, if you misspell your Instagram handle, that's not good. If you give me a website that leads to nowhere, that's also not good. But I think, and we'll go to Haley on this, because I think she's a good person to bring this up, because I know that you think about things very systematically. First thing that people see is the bio, then the highlights, then your pinned posts, and then on and on, what we call below the fold, whenever you have to scroll. And in social media and marketing, both, it's 80% what you put above the fold. So your bio has to be pristine and usable. Your highlights have to be intentional. Now, Haley, when she was over at Miss Earth, competing for Miss Earth as Miss Earth USA, she crossed the 10K barrier. I believe that you said you were watching it, and then when you did, you ate a celebratory slice of pizza. I also recently joined the 10K club, so I'm quite happy about that. But Haley, give us your thoughts.
I have so much to say about this. I think the first thing you have to do is identify your personal brand. what are the 3 to 5 most important things that you want the judges and your audience to know about you. And I need to see those in your bio, and I need to see highlights for them. And then I want to see pinned posts at the top of your profile. One of them needs to be an introduction video, introducing yourself with pictures, with videos, however you would like to do that, so that the judges remember you from your interview and then go to your social media and they get a comprehensive review of whatever you talked about. And then your most important volunteer event, I would love to see that pinned as well, so that it's very easy for a judge or a pageant fan or a competitor to go to your page and immediately see everything that's super important that they need to know. I was on a posting schedule for Miss Earth USA, and our social media was scored. It was 15% of our overall score.
Wow.
So yeah, you kind of have to be on it at that point, right? And that's consistent social media and branding overall, because it's not just volume posting, it's not likes, it's not follower counts, it's the content that you create. So I was posting every single day, at least once a day, from January to about March, and then I brought it down to 4 to 5 times a week, and then had stories every single day. So you want to keep your message out there. You want to be consistent with it. I recommend making a posting calendar and then batching out that content. So like make your monthly plan. When I would get to the last week of a month, I would plan the next month of social media and put it on a color-coded calendar. And I would do different colors for different types of content. So if I was going to post about my platform, I'd make that green. If I was going to post about introducing myself, I would make it yellow. If I wanted to post about an appearance that I knew I had coming up, I'd make it pink. And then I would be able to see whether that was balanced on the calendar and whether I was doing enough of everything. And then I knew what I had to work in. I know this is like very intensely planned.
It's so type A. No, I love it. It's neurotic. It itches my brain in the best way. I love it. I love it. Genuinely.
Thank you. This is how I do everything. But batch out your content too. Take a day where you don't have anything going on, or if you have a few hours, go ahead and make your next 5 Instagram posts, save them as drafts. If you want to take the pictures and go ahead and like edit them and delete all the ones that you're not going to use and keep things organized, plan ahead on that. And then it takes a lot less time later when you need to post stuff. That's hilarious. And I hope that she does find you, because we will all be enlightened by that information. But yeah, and then during competition week, one thing that I found really useful once you get the schedule is to make a Google Doc or a notes document in your phone or a Canva, whatever you like to use, and put down each event and then write the caption ahead of time with the hashtags you're going to use. Make a list of everybody that you're going to tag in that post, include the designer of whatever outfit that you know you're going to wear, pick out the song that you are going to use, and do that for every single event and have your stuff ready to go. And then when you're done for the day, or if you have 5 minutes, all you have to do is pick the photos you want to use and then copy paste. It will save you so much time. You will get so much more sleep. And then when your competitors are asleep or they're busy and they're not posting, you're the one that's always active, and you'll get the most out of that experience with your audience while you're there competing, because it is a great way to grow your brand and get more followers. I will say a lot of women actually compete in international pageantry to grow their followers, because it's just something that kind of happens naturally. So you want to get as much as you can out of that experience.
Let me give you the overview here, what I'm feeling. So I'm sure there are a lot of people who would have just listened to what you said and go, oh my God, that's way too much. I don't want to give it that much thought, and I just want to post whatever I want to post. And I will say that I used to have that attitude, because I am very good off the cuff, and I'm one of those people who's like, put me under pressure, give me a phone, give me a camera, and I'll be entertaining for you, right? Whether it's finding a wallaby or falling flat on my face, I do that. But what I will say, what I found is, unless you are intentional and unless you plan it in advance, it is exhausting.
Yes.
Because you just turn up on a day and you're like, what should I do now? What should I post now? And sometimes it's very difficult to do that on the spot. So if you really want to take home a crown, if you really want to take home a title, I think having what Haley just talked about in terms of the strategy and being that organized is actually extremely important. And I think if you feel like you can't do that because it's not you, you may want to bring on someone like a Haley to help you with it. Like Peyton was saying, she has Julia. I think it's 4 Points Media Marketing. Peyton, is that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Julia.
So Julia will help with the content, which is great. But I do think you need the branding, you need the planning, you need the calendar, just so it's posting in the background, so that especially when you're competing, you can actually just enjoy yourself. rather than going, what do I post now? What do I post now? What do I post now? So if you're anything like me and you just like to post whatever comes to your brain that day, I get it, I do. But I think the only way you can grow on a consistent basis is to have the kind of strategy and the planning behind it. Now, Haley says her laptop is about to die.
Yeah.
So we should probably move towards the close. Just before that, we'll wrap up in a sec. I'm just going to play you a little thing here about my book, which Morgan and I shot, and then we'll wrap things up. All right. So, guys, this is my book, Beginner's Guide to Pageantry. I wrote it obviously for beginners, but also I think for a bit more. It ended a lot thicker than I intended. But rather than me talking about it, I'm going to get Morgan. Just tell me what you thought about it, because Morgan is the one that wrote the foreword to it. Tell people what you thought briefly.
My forward was so impressive. Briefly, it's the most in-depth thing. I wasn't even fully expecting it to be as in-depth as it was going into it. It kind of blew my socks off when I tell you, even coming into reading it as someone who's done pageants a million years ago, this is going to be beneficial for the newbie, absolutely, and a beginner, 100%. But even the most seasoned veteran, you are going to learn things and you are going to be challenged to level up your game in a way that I don't think even most coaches would think about encouraging you to do. So my favorite part, outside of the fact that it's just incredibly thorough and super in-depth, is the mental aspect that Adrian pushes on this. I have a master's degree in psychology, and I think that oftentimes people underestimate how much of a mental game competing in pageants is. So this is, without giving you any hints or any too many teasers, this is going to be the most in-depth book you will ever read about competing in pageants, but it's also going to lock in on the mental side of pageant prep as well, which is so beneficial, especially looking back hindsight as someone who did compete.
Thank you for that, Morgan. Check's in the mail. Guys, if you want to grab it, just go on Amazon, go to the Beginner's Guide to Pageantry, and now let's get you back to the show. Right, so if you guys don't know, that's my book. We hit #1 bestsellers within the first week, and Morgan wrote the foreword, and I'm very happy she did that. And she actually read the book because she sent me a photo of it, and she read it more than I did. It was destroyed, absolutely just torn into pieces. I don't know what you did with it, like you fed it to a dog. But we're going to wrap things up here because we've been on for a while. I will say, if you want any help with your social media, Haley has not said this officially, but you can tell Haley is very good at it. So if you have any questions about, if you want to organize it, like Haley said, feel free to send her a DM. I'll see if I can bring up her. What's your username there, Haley, just so people can get in contact with you? Or what's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
It's Haley Grace Poe on Instagram.
There you go. All right. Because I think if you had that plan running in the background, even if you're more like me and you just want to be present, or like what Peyton was saying, you don't want to break the fourth wall, you still need to be posting in the background. And having a plan like Haley's allows you to have the best of both worlds. Because if you're just present, you don't do the social media, you're not going to win. Because your directors or the judges will see that and go, well, she can't help us grow our brand. And then you're done. Right. All right. We're going to wrap things up. We'll go to Haley first because she said her laptop is about to move to the higher level. So Haley, what have you got coming up in the next week?
I have to take my cat to the vet tomorrow, and I feel very bad for him. He has to get his rabies shot, even though he's a 100% indoor cat. So he's going to have to ride in a car, and he's not going to be thrilled about it, and that's okay. And then we'll have our next podcast next week, I'm pretty sure, and next week of Harvard classes. And then on top of that, I'm working on releasing the rest of my Miss Earth vlog series. Part 1 is already out on my YouTube, and then I'll be editing the next 4 parts. It's about an hour's worth of content from that. And if you have any questions about international competition or Miss Earth, please let me know. I would love to answer. Thank you.
Okay, great. I will say, if you need a tip, I have a cat backpack, and so he can go in there, then I can carry him around. Okay. And he actually loves being carried. I trained him so that when he goes in there, he gets excited, and I take him up and I carry him around outside. Okay. And he gets to see everyone, and he loves it. So I don't know how Cobalt will react to the car, but I hope it all goes well. Miss Cheekbones, what about yourself? What have you got coming up this week?
Well, I do have that fun event on Sunday that I will release ahead of time, I guess. I gotta let the people know where I'm at. And then week after, so next week, a lot more prep, crafting, because I have to get ready for the teen pageant. Hopefully picking up some beautiful pieces from Dressing Dreams to take with me to the teen pageant. I have a couple of pieces in alterations I have to pick up. So just some admin things getting ready for the teen national pageant.
And good luck to your teen as well. It's Claire, right?
Claire, yes.
Good luck. And she just moved to New York or something, didn't she?
She did. I actually haven't seen her since her send-off, which I guess was a full month ago now. She moved to New York for her freshman year of college and has been at NYU the entire time. And I think she just got home this past weekend for a little prep weekend real quick before she had to go right back to New York. And I don't think we'll see her again until nationals.
Well, best of luck. I know it can be pretty intimidating going to a big pageant. Slim Shady, what have you got coming up this week now that you're finally human again?
Now that I'm human again. Also, Peyton, tell your teeny beanie that I think she has a sister queen in the city because
Yes.
Alaska teen volunteer goes to school in Manhattan. Coaching, snatching, got teeny babies that we're getting ready for state and national level pageants, and then all of my misses are actively anticipating hearing dates for Miss USA, so those are slowly but surely coming out. If you are not already working out for your state pageant, thank you. And outside of that, I'm actually, after this, hopping on a call with Davia, who y'all had the pleasure of hanging out with, I think 2 weeks ago. And she's getting ready to start a little snatch that she's going to be documenting for all of her followers. So we are going to talk game plan, and then in game, she's coming to do an iconic photo shoot with my husband in Charleston. So we'll be seeing her in May. And yeah, that's it. Just living my best life and planning on ordering some fajitas for dinner.
Okay, well, you got your work cut out for you. Say hello to Davia's cat. That ragdoll was
Beautiful.
We're just doing this to see cats. We got Davia's cat. We've got Haley's cat. I'm not going to bring my cat on because he just lowers the average IQ in the room every time he enters a room. But we'll leave him with that. Also, guys, by the way, if you need a trainer, get Morgan. Don't go to someone who starves you, who says you can't have your Thanksgiving and your Christmas. If I see people like that, especially when they overweight themselves, no, don't do that. Go get Morgan. Get a Morgan can work with you from anywhere. Get Morgan. And who was the person that you recommended for walking? I can't remember the name. Layla, right?
Nasser, LN Pageant Consulting on Instagram. We love her. She's also in grad school, so her calendar is limited. So get in when you can because she is getting her master's actively. Busy boys.
One of the things I just really want to do, because you bring people together and you trust them, and the people that they trust, you know their qualities. So please don't go off client testimonials. I'm not going to say all of them, but many of them are not fake, but they're manufactured. The people claiming success from title holders, and they work with them once. And by the way, when they work with them, it may not have gone well, and yet they're claiming credit, and you think, oh, so-and-so trained so-and-so. Like, yeah, did they? I trained about 10 of the Miss USA girls. I didn't get any of them to give me credit because I know sometimes in pageantry, you're not allowed to give certain people credit. They go, oh, but that's not one of our sponsors. How dare you? I'm like, guys, last time I checked, it was, democracy, not a totalitarian state. Find people who will support you and treat you like a human being, not a bunch of numbers. Okay, so go get yourself a Morgan. Morgan's laughing. I don't know why.
You just say all the things
Haley,
that
if you need
everyone
someone
else
who can keep it.
I love it. I love it.
Get yourself a Haley so she can keep it together for you, because we know, like, when it comes to week, like competition week, it'll be over before you know it. And Peyton's going to go through this soon. So, it's manic when you get there, and if you competed, you know it. So I rambled enough, ranted enough. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in for our first live. I know it was a bit chaotic, but hopefully in an entertaining way. And yeah, I think we'll try this again next week, but we will speak to you next week. Bye for now. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in winning not just at pageantry, but at life, come on over to thepageantproject.com, giving out free weekly pageant coaching tips. You can get all the podcasts and interviews there as well. You can sign up for a member completely for free, doing weekly mock interviews and everything like that. So come on over to thepageantproject.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll speak to you again soon.